economy being in a recession or anything, simply because people can be between jobs. Sometimes we have what's called seasonal unemployment. This is just kind of a type of frictional. Seasonal unemployment is essentially when the time of year, the season changes, and people who were working in one industry no longer are because, well, the season has changed, right? People who work ski lifts on the mountains in the wintertime. Yeah, the ski lifts operate in the summer for mountain bikers, but predominantly they're there for skiers and snowboarders and whatnot. And the mountains are a lot busier during that time of year, so you need a lot more people to run the ski lift. But when the snow melts, we don't need as many employees. So those employees that have a kind of a seasonal job, hey, they go on and they try to find work elsewhere, right? In the interim, they are unemployed. For us here in California, especially on the coast, or in the Southern California, lifeguards. This is the reality of lifeguards. Lifeguards, there's a lot more of them hired in the summertime when there's a lot more people at the beaches. In the wintertime, they lose their job. They become unemployed temporarily. And they tend to, again, lose their job as a lifeguard for, because the beaches are closed, or not closed, but, they just don't have lifeguards out there as much. And then, they look for another job, and they probably find one, right? Maybe they get a lifeguard job at a pool, or who knows what else, right? They have other skills that are transferable. Maybe they go to the mountains and they work ski lifts in the wintertime, right? Seasonal unemployment, again, is just a type of frictional, because guess what? The season will be back. And the snow will fall on the mountains again, and the ski lift operator will go back to their job, right? All right, the other type is structural unemployment. So frictional is the type of unemployment that is normal and fine. And it's again, there's nothing bad about it. Structural unemployment is the type of unemployment that is normal, but it's not as happy-go-lucky as frictional is. Structural unemployment is the tough kind of unemployment because it's normal. It needs to occur in some cases, but at the same time, it's not happy-go-lucky. There are people who are harmed when it comes to structural unemployment. This is essentially when people become unemployed because the structure of the economy has changed. We have changes in the labor force, which is going to make some skills obsolete. There's jobs that people do, and they've been trained their whole life. They've been working 30 years in this job, doing this skill, and that's not really a skill we need in our economy anymore. It's a job that is just gone. We no longer have a need for people to work in this field, doing that job, and once they're fired from that job, their skills aren't transferable. Meaning, having the skills to do this specific job, once those jobs are gone, once we no longer need people to do that work, well, then that laborer, if they get fired or, laid off from that job, they can't just say, well, I know how to do this. Does anybody want to hire me? Well, no, right? No one's going to hire you because the thing you know how to do isn't needed anymore for various reasons. Basically these jobs will never come back. And the workers, essentially, if they want to work again, if they want to actually have a job in the economy and be a part of the labor force, they have to learn a new skill. And sometimes that can be built off the skill they already have. Sometimes it has to be a completely new skill. And so this can be difficult. This can be very hard for somebody, again, especially somebody who's been working in a certain industry for a long time, to have that job go away and realize that it's not coming back, that you will never do this work again because our economy doesn't need that work anymore. That's a very difficult thing because, again, the process of being retrained in a new skill isn't easy. A lot of times it costs money, especially the way college is these days. And so this is a normal type of unemployment. The economy is constantly in flux and changing its structure and what we value and what